Good Sunday morning, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. This morning, I'd like to take a look at Netflix, and we are going to look at that because we have earnings on Tuesday. Monday, we are closed, but there's some important data coming out that you want to be aware of for market changes, and that is going to be the EU data and China data. So a lot of data coming out on Monday, and then we got Netflix, IBM, and General Dynamics reporting on Tuesday. So be aware of those significant um, things coming up. Okay, so let's look at Netflix here real quick. This is the daily here right now. That's what we're starting with. And you can see we have a nice bottom in place. And I said once we really get going, we could get a nice little move up to the 50-day moving average, 349. So we should get that actually Monday. But we are definitely in a box. You can see this line is the bottom here, but I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to put this box in place here. We're going to work off this double bottom and this top over here, right there. And you can see the top of the box falls exactly in line with the 50-day moving average, and also the top of the Bollinger Band, and also the top of a box. So we have three significant areas inside this box that we should be aware of. We do have a gap up here on the top end of it. Relative strength index is at 50 right now. Um, so what are we looking at for a beat itself? So if we're going to look at a beat here, okay, and you can see this low here, now this one's higher, and we're making higher ones, and we have a nice turn up here of the stochastics and everything else. So on the daily, it's getting some nice action, okay, but you can see it's just very choppy and broken. Okay, last time it came down here, look what happened. It ran all the way up here, made new highs here. So from an investment standpoint, it looks pretty good. But then it just fell apart completely. And unless they report some amazing numbers overseas, I think we're going to get hurt. But for now, let's look at where we can go for the upside and downside. Okay, so the upside, we're going to meet some resistance before we fly up here. If we can get up there, relative strength usually stops at about 70. So if we're going to plan a 70, what I would do is keep this in place here as a definite resistance here. So if it's a big beat, I would think this was going to be a challenge right here, and that mark is going to be about 380. So 380 should be some resistance, but you would probably get a continued move after some profit taking, of course, to this upside over here eventually, if everything goes well. And you'd probably do something, like this right here. All depends on this gap, what it does on Wednesday morning, whether it's up or down. And we'll have to go from there. We will be judging it. We'll plan the trade out with the members inside the chat room. So if we have a miss, guess what we're going to do? We're going to come down eventually and get this gap, okay? All gaps get filled, and we're very choppy since the big moves to the upside, so at 178. But you can see here, there's definitely potential for it to rocket to the upside, okay? And there's also potential to rocket to the downside. So we have to keep an eye on that. So let's look at the weekly, okay, real quick here. And so the weekly is a mess. We still have the gaps here. Remember, these are all our lines here, so we can manage that. And let's move this line down here, and you can see how the support did come in here to make that judgment. But you can see a relative strength. Your middle Bollinger Band has turned to the downside. Your 50-day moving average has turned to the downside. Relative strength index is pretty low at about 38 on the weekly. Okay, and you don't have any confirmation yet for a move to the upside. But you can see a derivative oscillator starting to move. Once that crosses, it could get moving to the upside. So you see here, same basic setup here before it moved to the upside. Okay, so potentially this could beat based on what I'm seeing here, and it has more potential for the upside than downside, but I don't think it's going to last very long. But a definite correction, and potentially up to our marks here. So let's move it out to a monthly and then go from there. So for a monthly, you can see here, let's get rid of all these things, and we'll just look at the candles and look at what we have here. Okay, so you made the higher high here, double bottom here before it moved up. Something different here is these three came down, and there's still more selling pressure, and you can't get over the middle Bollinger Band, okay? And that's pretty significant. So on a monthly basis, it looks pretty bad, but on daily and weekly, it looks like we can get a nice bounce here. But you can see these are getting ready to cross to the downside. That's RSI 14 with a moving average 5. So any move up will probably hit that target 361, 380 in that area, or to the downside, and 50-day comes in line with everything else also. All right, this is Matt. For the planned trade on this, for the option, because it's going to be a big mover, make sure you come into live chat, and will be a lucrative trade for sure. We also have the layout for IBM and General Dynamics coming on Monday, so we can plan all this stuff out and start making some big time money. Congratulations, members on PCP, our big winner the other day, and that was probably about 1,200%, 1,300% overnight from my daily morning report. Okay, so everyone, have yourself a great weekend. Good luck if you're watching the football games, and hopefully your favorite team wins. Enjoy your Monday off. Happy Martin Luther King Day, and we will see you in chat on Monday, Tuesday. Have yourself a fantastic weekend.